Who carries out CPS investigation? In many states the main investigator is a CPS worker. In other states, the investigator may be a law enforcement officer instead of an agency worker. Under some circumstances, they work as a team. They must have the skills to work with you, your child, other family members, community agencies, law enforcement, and courts. In many states, agency workers that work in CPS must have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in social work or a degree in a closely related field. CPS agencies must ensure that the workers have regular and appropriate training and specialized skills necessary to provide quality services. What happens during the investigation? Often the CPS worker will recontact the person who made the report to the central hotline and clarify what they said happened. The CPS worker will interview your child. If your child has injuries that are serious or visible, the CPS worker and a physician may examine your child. Interviews are then held with you and the person who is accused of neglecting or abusing your child. The CPS worker might also interview other witnesses. After all of the basic information is gathered, the CPS worker determines what happens next. Am I expected to know who made the report? No. You will be told about the report, but not the identity of the reporter. Most CPS workers have an open mind about reports, and their experience tells them that all reports are not true. They also recognize that most families do not abuse or neglect their children on purpose. What are the possible report determinations? CPS may determine the following: your child was not abused or neglected. When this occurs, the allegation is called unfounded or unsubstantiated. There is no need for further CPS involvement. The case is closed. Your child was not abused or neglected. The report was unfounded, but you are having family problems, for which you want some help. The CPS worker may refer you to some community services that can help you on a voluntary basis. There is evidence that your child was abused or neglected. This is called having the allegations founded. All states do not use the same language. They may call it substantiated or confirmed. There is reason to suspect that your child was abused or neglected, or is at risk for abuse or neglect. However, the abuse or neglect cannot be proven. This is called indicated. Currently, some states have this category. What could happen if there is evidence that my child has been abused or neglected? It depends on what happened to your child, and your ability to keep your child safe, now and in the future. Any of the following may happen. If your child can be safe in your home, services may be put in place for your family to prevent further abuse or neglect. Plans will be developed, and supports made available for your family, to make sure your child is safe. This is called a safety plan. It will be monitored by CPS. If your child cannot be safe at the present time in your home, he may need to be placed with someone outside of your home. He could be placed with a relative or in foster care. The family court may order you to make changes and to participate in services. Law enforcement may become involved if it is suspected that a crime has been committed against your child. Removal of a child during, or as a result of, an investigation is a very serious and often painful outcome for both the child and the family. This action is reserved for situations in which the child's safety is at high risk, and the CPS worker determines that the parent or caregiver is unable to protect the child.